Hello, stampers. It's Elizabeth from StampScrapandMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be playing with the Snailed It bundle. Last week on the VIP Facebook page, we made this card and everyone loved it. So I thought instead of uploading that video that had a lot of chatter on it, I would just do a clean card, upload it to YouTube for you all to enjoy and hopefully inspire you. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the card we made. Okay, so we started with this card and I think it's called a surprise pop-up. And it pops like that. You've got mail, hello, hello, hello. And then we've got happy mail and we've got the snail here. But the card that we made last week, I've got a little bit of glue there, was this one. Almost, it's identical, except I just wanted to add a little bit more embellishment. So we've put the hello on here and we've put some red rhinestones on here as well, just to give a little pop of bling. And this is the card we're going to make today. So what do you need for this card? All right. We need a piece of real red that is 4¼ by 5½. And we need a piece of patterned paper that's 4¼ by 5½. Basically, this is going to be the back of the card and this is going to be the front of the card. You also need a piece of Whisper White that's 4½ by 3½. This will go on the inside and it's so that when you pull up the mechanism, you see white. If you don't want white there, then you don't need this card, but I wanted to have the white base there. You also need, I need my little post-it notes, a piece of Whisper White that's 3¼ by 4¾ That's going to be the mechanism that pulls up. And you need a piece of photocopy paper that is 1/2 inch by 7. And if you don't have this, when I made this card years ago, I never used this photocopy paper. And all it does is it helps you guide the this mechanism in and out a little bit straighter. If you don't have the photocopy paper, you don't need it, but I will admit it does help. Okay, so you need that. Then, if you know me, you know my obsession with the Tasteful Label dies. You're going to use vellum, and you're going to use the big circle and the little circle, and you're going to die cut out vellum cardstock. You need the large one and the little one. Using this die, you're going to die cut out a piece of real red. Then with the dies from, I put them back, from the snail dies, that's part of the bundle. I shouldn't have put them back, but I did. So I don't know if I'm going to get the right one out. I probably won't. There it is. Okay. You're going to need this die, and you will die cut out one of that snail. You'll also die cut one out in just plain white. So you need that one in the design series paper and in plain white. You're also going to need this die, and you're going to die cut out one of the envelopes. So it goes that way. You don't need to cut one out in Whisper White as well, so you need that one. And then from the hello, you need whatever one you want. You can use that hello. I used the hello that goes this way, but in the real red. And you're also going to die cut one out in Whisper White. The reason why I'm saying to die cut these two out, and I've done it already, is you're going to mount the designer series paper on to the Whisper White using your Tombow glue, and you're going to do the same with this one. And the reason being is the designer series paper is thinner than cardstock. I just want it to have a little bit more beef to it, because has movement to it. I just want to make sure that it is really secure. You don't need one for the envelope because it's quite small anyhow. So that's just my preference. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, So we're going to take this piece. Don't I lose the did I lose the measurement of it already? I did. I did. It's somewhere on my desk. And also, you know what? I did this before. Let me just make sure it's not attached to. No, it's not. Elizabeth. Oh, there it is. It's attached to the back of my paper. That happens all the time. Okay, so this piece of Whisper White that is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, I'm going to take the Bermuda Bay and Real Red and the Hello stamp. And I'm just going to clean this off. Truth be known, I had started this card once before, and then I had I put it on what I thought pause, so I could go down and get some water. But I realized I ended the video instead of pausing the video, so I had to start all over again. So that's why these two are assembled already. Okay, we're going to start with the Real Red. You can start with either one you want. And then I'm going to randomly stamp hello, hello, hello. And you can take some off. And you can go below as well, because you don't know how far up the mechanism is going to go, so you don't want it to be sparse. Okay, and I'm going to clean off that hello, hello, hello. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the Bermuda Bay. And did I tell you that I checked before I came on? I can't remember. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. So I checked this bundle, and I will tell you that I don't believe it's going to carry over. We've seen the retirement list. It's not on the retirement list, but it's not in the new catalog. So I believe this will be retiring, but not until the end of May. So I have checked the inventory status report, and all of these elements are still available. The only element, and we're not using it, that's from this suite that is not available was, oh, maybe they are. I didn't see them. They were the hearts. You know, when I checked, I didn't see the hearts. I saw the hearts there before, not available, but I didn't see them this time. So maybe they are available. I don't know. I'll post it below if after I finish the video. So there we go. We've got the hello, hello, hello. So I'm going to put that aside. Now I'm going to take, let me get this done while I'm here. I am going to mount this onto the inside like that. I'm just doing it now so that I can, oops, that wasn't very good. So I can get it off of my desk. Oh, come on. There we go. It was stuck. There. Okay. Yeah, I want to get all the individual pieces off my desk because, you know, when I put stuff on my desk, it ends up stuck on the back of something else, and then I lose it. Okay, so it's not even straight, but that's okay. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to put, no, this I'm going to bring it out. So the piece of photocopy paper that is 1/2 inch by 7, I'm going to loosely wrap it around the top like this. And it's just loosely, and I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive like that. And put it like that. And if you've got any adhesive over, make sure you pull it off, which I do. I have some adhesive over. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take the piece of designer series paper, and you're going to need your trimmer for this, your paper trimmer. And okay, so this has a definite up and down to it. Okay, so you want to make sure you're going in the right direction. So you're going to line up this edge with the 3.5 inch mark here. 3.5. And what I've done on my ruler guide, and there's a light there that's shining, I have marked, you'll see there's a pen mark there, and there's a pen mark there. Those are the 3/4 inch and the 4 3/4 inch. Okay, so I've lined this up at the 3.5. Then I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to cut from the 3/4 inch down to the 4 3/4 inch, like that. Okay, now I'm going to flip over and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up 3.5, and then I'm going to cut from 3/4. Whoops, I just moved it a little bit. 3/4 down to 4 3/4. Made it really easy to do by putting those two marks there. And actually those marks have been there for a long time because I put the marks there when I first made this card years ago. So you're going to have two cuts like that. Okay, remember this is definitely up. Now we're going to put it in horizontally. Make sure that, so we're going to be cutting this end. This is going to be the bottom, right? So you make sure that you've got your direction. If it's a directional pattern, it's going in the right way. So we're going to line this, put this in horizontally, line it up at 4 3/4. And then now we're going to cut between the two marks, which really are 3/4 by 3.5. So the 3/4 is this one again. And then the 3.5, I'm just actually going to feel it with my thumb, with my finger, because I didn't make another mark here. And I'm going to cut it to 3.5. And I'm basically connecting the two cut lines. Okay, and now you've got this. Okay, so we're clear. Now we're going to take our bone folder and line up on the left. So we're going to, again, this is the up, right? And we're going to put this in at 4 inches, 4 inches right there. And now, if you've got your scoring tool in there, you can use the scoring tool. I took the scoring tool out because many times I goofed and I cut when I was supposed to score, so I took it out. So now I just use my my bone folder. So now what we're going to do at the 2 3/8, we're going to, by lining this up here at 4 inches, we are going to score between the two cut lines. And I can feel them again with my thumb and my finger, and we're going to score. And I need a drink of water. Just give me 1 second. Ah, I love my soda stream. And now we are going to move it to 2 3/8. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 2 3/8. And we're going to do the same thing. And now we're going to go to 3/4, and we're going to do the same thing. So you're cutting in between all of those score lines. Sorry, the cut lines. So now I have a score line here. Let me put this away. So I have a score line here. That's going to be a valley. I have a score line here, which is going to be a mountain. And then I have a score line here, which is going to be a valley again, like that. And then when we're done, we have this mechanism. All right, so I hope you followed along okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach, well, not, sorry, attach. I'm going to line up these two together. If you have a circle punch, go ahead and use the circle punch. I do not have a circle punch, but I've got this label die, right? And I'm going to use this, this angle here, and I'm going to put it in the middle, and I'm going to cut out a notch. And I'm just going to I'm eyeballing it, making sure I'm even left and right. Okay, and you're going to do a notch like that. And that's where it's going to come up. Now, let's see. Where did I put my, there it is. Okay, now we're going to take this strip of copy paper, and I'm going to adhere it sort of above this score line. And I'm going to use some tear and tape. I'm going to use some tear and tape. And I've put the side where I put the adhesive, I'm putting that on down towards, that's what I'm putting the tear and tape on. Okay, where's my scissors? Okay, and now I'm going to adhere this to the back of this card. And oh my goodness, hello, try and get the tear and tape off. There we go. Okay, and I'm putting it in so that it's even left and right, kind of, so that it's spaced evenly. And you'll see there's a little up notch up here. I'm actually just going to go back in with my punch and punch that out. Okay. Now what we're going to do is adhere tear and tape down both sides, along the bottom, and along this folded part here. So we're going to put one strip of tear and tape down each side and across the bottom. But here I'm going to put side by side, I'm going to put 2 pieces of tear and tape. Unless you've got thicker adhesive, and the reason why I'm using the tear and tape is because this is going to be interactive, has movement. It's best to use something that's got a little more adhesion to it, that's stronger adhesive. I put a little bit extra here too because it was not trimmed very well at the top, so I put the tear and tape over it so that it would be right to the corner. And I'm putting it down along the bottom. And then last but not least, I'm putting it up this side here. And this is one of those cards that when you make it, it's really simple. And like I've made it multiple times. But when you haven't made it for a while, I've got to get my head around it because there's math involved and I'm really not good with math. So, okay, now I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape along the bottom and then one right beside it, but between that score line, right? Yeah, math is not my thing. So when it comes to calculations and stuff, I get, it's like I couldn't be bothered. But once you make it, it's super easy to do. And then by simple things, by putting that guide, those marks on the paper trimmer, it just makes life so much easier because you don't have to measure each time. You just know between what points you have to cut. Okay, I think that's it for tear and tape. I think I make sure I don't have any extra hanging over. Okay, and now we're going to take this guy. Now remember, we've stamped him, so he's got to be facing up. And we're just going to put it into this little guide here. Okay, and that's what's going to keep it aligned when it comes up and down. And this probably is the hardest part of the card. We are going to pull off the tear and tape. And if it So, okay, so what we're going to do first is pull off the tear and tape on the bottom, this piece here, and it is actually going to get attached to the bottom of this piece of white, like that, okay? Don't worry so much at first if it doesn't line up correctly at the top, because it's important that it lines up evenly at the bottom. If you cut it a little bit higher, a little bit too long, you can always trim it off the top, but it's important that it's even on the bottom. And I'm going to take off the tearing tape and adhere this to the bottom like that. And you'll see that I am a little bit high. I'm a little bit high. So you can take your paper trimmer. Let's see if I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to take the chance. There we go. And I'm going to trim off that little bit extra. Okay, so now it's even. Like I said, important part is that it's even on the bottom. Okay, now what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to match up these two pieces. So we're going to take off this tear and tape. And, you know, many people have different ways of doing this. Some people kind of take off the tear and tape a little bit at a time and pull it down. I kind of match up one side and then do the bottom and then do the next side. And if it's not even, again, you can trim the sides a little bit, right? You can trim it off a little bit. Of course, I'm not getting the tear and tape off very well. Okay, there we go. And then the last piece, like that. Okay. If I was being picky, it looks fine, but I was going to say it looks like there's a little bit extra on this side. Actually, I might have cut the red a little bit bigger because both sides have a little bit extra on it, but that's, you can't even tell, I bet. Okay, and so now, da, 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 but Elizabeth, we haven't stamped the inside, and I did that on purpose because I never know how high up I want it to go, right? So I'm now going to take, which one did I use? I used You've Got Mail. I'm going to take the You've Got Mail and the black memento. Oh, it'd be nice if I put it on a block, right? A black memento, and I'm going to ink her up. My black is really, I need to re-ink it, so that's why I'm kind of like heavy duty with the inking it up. And then You've Got Mail. Oh, I love it when a card comes out. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to color it in Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to, because this is Bermuda Bay, I'm going to use the light Bermuda Bay for the body of the snail. You can use whatever color you want. I do find that even the light Bermuda Bay is kind of dark. So you can use any of the blues, that would coordinate well. You should see my setup right now. I have phone holder that one of the guys at work made for me that I can hang from the ceiling. And that way my phone is overhead and not on an arm beside me, because I find I need room on my desk, right? However, because of lockdowns and shutdowns, I needed a piece, something from Home Depot, and I needed to walk around and kind of look to see what I can use for something. And because I can't get into Home Depot, so now I have my phone hanging from the ceiling with two pieces of ribbon that have been with push pins in the ceiling, and I can't move because if the phone will like sway. But I'm actually really liking it because now my desk, I don't have an arm here where the phone was kind of overhead, right? So it's just one of those things that uh, I struggle with. I struggle with lighting. I struggle with uh, audio, video, the whole bit. Okay, so now I'm using the Daffodil Delight and I'm coloring the snails, the back of the snail. Okay. And now I'm going to use the petal pink. I think it's petal pink. Petal pink. Yep, light petal pink. And I'm going to color in the letter, the little envelope. I'll bring this up closer once I've done it. And I forgot to bring out the real red. Hold on one second. Real red. I think this is real red. Might be cherry cobbler, but whoops, it was close at hand. I think it is cherry cobbler. You get the gist though. Okay. So there is the coloring on it. Isn't that cute? All right. And now we have to put the rest of it together. I'm all about layering, folks. You know that, right? I'm all about layering. So we've got the label die from the Tasteful Label Dies. And I'm going to take the large vellum circle. I'm going to put some adhesive on it. And I'm going to glue them down there. And then I'm going to take the snail and the little circle. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive back there, and I'm going to pop this up like that. I need to stamp one other thing. I need one more thing stamped. I need, there we go, I've got a smaller piece. I need the Happy Mail enclosed. And again, I'm going to stamp that in the black memento. I'm going to put that aside for a minute. The black memento, and then, whoops, the post stamp. I forget what it's called. I'll show you. This one here. I stamped it upside down, but I'm going to just make sure I get it straight. There we go. So that's the Happy Mail enclosed, and now we're going to take the little letter, right, with the stamp on it. I have a piece of the dimensionals already started, so I won't start a new one. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on here. This is such a cute card. I love it when a card turns out. It excites me. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put this kind of like that, and I'm going to put Tombow on it, but I don't want Tombow sort of like past my finger, right? Because it's going to be popped up or up higher than the label, like that. And now we're going to put here and put a lot of glue on there. Sometimes if you're smushing the glue, you won't see it. There we go. And then we're going to pop that up. And I'm actually putting it over a couple pieces over the vellum, just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And then I'm going to take the hello, and I'm just going to pop that up down there. And we're almost done. And you know that I love popping up. I love dimensionals. I love interactive. And then this is going to get on top of like that. But again, oh, where's my pencil? Make sure you don't put dimensionals past that mark and that mark. So I like to put little registration marks on the back so that I know dimensionals. I can't go past there. Because if they do, then you're going to have to peel the dimensional off. We're almost done. Now, if you wanted to, you could put, I have little labels in my stash that say pull here. And if you want, you can actually put a little a ribbon here. You could staple a piece of ribbon here, and then they're just little tiny labels I have that say pull here, and I actually wrap them around a piece of string so that people will know to pull up. So that's the card. I hope you enjoyed that and that you learned something new. And like I said, having the piece of copy paper up here, it helps the mechanism slide a little bit better. If you didn't, and it would still work, if you didn't, this may go sideways. Does that make sense? It may go sideways. So, and then again, if you wanted to finish it off, you can use some rhinestones. The first one I did, I used the red rhinestones. What do I have here? Oh, I've got some clear ones. I have a mess. That's what I have. I'm going to put some clear rhinestones. Oh, I think one goes there. And one should go like there. And then maybe one up here. There you go. You've got mail. Thanks for joining me, and I appreciate you following me. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification, whatever it takes to get you watching me and watching more videos. And it really does help me, and it encourages me to continue going. Take care, have a good one, and happy stamping.